Hello, our beautiful goddesses. You got Joanne and Elizabeth here. So Elizabeth sometimes does this thing where she doesn't tell me what her question is, and she makes me record it so that
Yep.
you guys can hear the authenticity of our questions and our deep soul talk. So go ahead, my love. I think she had a question that is perfect for you inspired goddesses. All right, my love, go ahead and get us started.
Okay, so the reason I want to talk about this, I love talking about manifesting, especially with Joanne. Joanne has really good relationship with money and abundance. And there are a lot of limiting beliefs that I have associated with money from when I was younger that makes it where I create abundance in ways that the mind doesn't always agree with. So I really love
Mhm,
talking to Joanne because her relationship, like I said, is there's zero resistance. So it's
mhm.
these pure, authentic answers that are just so filled with soul. And I want you guys to all hear. So I've been reading Florence Scovel Shinn. I actually have been rereading because I've already read this book, but The Game of Life and How to Play It, it is literally like a manifesting
And
Bible,
awesome.
right? It's
Hmm.
amazing. And
Love her.
I really love this conversation that I'm reading about today. And I'm going to read the quote. If a man ignores leadings to spend or to give, the same amount of money will go in an uninteresting or unhappy way. So basically, what she's saying is if a man is inspired to give a gift or to spend on something that is just sort of almost like a intuitive nudge, like, hey, spend it on this, and you ignore that, rather than spending the money on what you wanted to, you're going to actually
Mm,
be manifesting that same money being spent in an uninteresting or unhappy way. And I want to follow this up, and then I'll get your take on it, Joanne. The
mhm,
law always stands back of the man who spends fearlessly with wisdom.
mm,
Let's talk about that because you're great with giving gifts. And I think a lot of
mhm,
people gifts they want to spend on something, and it's like that first intuitive nudge of, okay, spend it on this, and then it's like mind will kick in, but if you spend it on this, you won't have it for that. What if you spend it on this, then what if something comes up? Like, there's a lot of mind chatter that goes on after you have had that intuitive nudge initially. Tell us how
mhm.
you respond to that.
So when I get so well first I want to just share when it comes to abundance, there is infinite supply of what you give. It does. What you give comes back tenfold. And so I've always had um and I've created a giving method where a percentage of money that I have is always provided to give. Because here's what happens if you do not have a giving place, you're going to overgive, or you will give in a way where you might not. And so I consciously always think of how much more ways can I give? And so when I'm out and I'm being asked, hey, you want to donate here? I know I have a giving fund. I do. I have that percentage that I always give. And when someone has a birthday, I have a giving fund. So I know I can splurge, but I don't overgive. Now, the intuitive nudges that comes in. So I sometimes will have moments where I found something and it made me think of somebody and I send it to them, right? So that's what I think Florence Scovel is saying. When you just have this inner tug that says like, hey, go give this, go give this, go share this, because money is just energy. It really is. Mine likes to complicate money and cling to it and hold on to it. And when you're giving a piece of this energy, you're giving a piece of love. You're giving a piece of source energy. You're giving God's love, right? I thought of someone, I send them something. Now, if mine kicked in, so let's go back to that same quote. I had this intuitive nudge to send this to someone that made me think of them. And I'm spending, let's say it was $50, right? $50. I had an intuitive nudge and I wanted to send it. Because I followed that intuitive nudge and sent it, I got to choose where that money is going. And because it's energy that's being sent, I feel good. Then I've also sent love. I sent God's love. I sent soul source energy to someone else who I also love. But listening to this quote, it's almost like, hey, give when you want to give. Give so much to the point where you have nothing to lose. Because if mine got involved and it'd be like, oh my gosh, why am I spending $50 for no reason? Right. Think about that. Mine will be like, not their birthday. It's not Christmas. I had intuitive nudge to send this to somebody because I felt that inner tug from within.
Not sending it for their birthday. I'm not sending it for. Do you see where I want our listeners to really get, when you start questioning, you almost like immediately go back mode. I can't give this because of, and you're going into lack mode. And I want to point out, there was this part of Conversations with God that I know I've shared with you where in Conversations with God, it says, if you meet someone that needs money and your initial thing is, I'm going to give them $5, and you pull out your wallet and you don't have $5, you only have $1 or you have a 20, and you start questioning, maybe I shouldn't give that much money. And then you basically walk past them and you don't end up giving them the money. You're only hurting yourself, because there was that intuitive nudge that was saying give, because when you can give so freely, you know that money's going to be replaced and therefore it will be replaced. If you start thinking in lack of, I can't give this $20 bill away because it's not going to be replaced, you're already sending the energetic response that it is not coming back, and to not keep filling you with abundance.
I think that's why it gets spent somewhere else where you don't want it to, because you're sending the energy of what was first through love, then is now being replaced with fear. And so that fear energy with abundance, which was going to, right? Think about that. Because if you've sent money or gift to somebody, they and you, it's reciprocated through abundance and love. But because you've switched it with fear, then you now have this energy of lack of abundance, which will then be spent on something that you didn't initiate through love. There's always two energies. There's one through love and there's one through fear. And if you are able to give through love without fear, and it's usually that initial, the first, like, yes, that's that hard yes. That's what you listen to. That's that nudge. That's that. And I always get to practice my gift giving with the hard yes, because I know I'm investing in my abundance. I really am. Gift to me comes back tenfold. And it doesn't even make sense, right? Why am I buying? And it doesn't make sense. Why am I buying this for someone who doesn't need it, right? Because when you think of gifting someone something, you need that thank you. You need the whole celebration, right? Someone's birthday. They're opening it in front of all these people. No, I'm sending something randomly for no freaking reason. I'm not even going to see their reaction. But because I have this nudge from within, that's making me feel like sending source love, God's love. Remember, money is simply energy, and it depends on where your energy is at when you're sending it. You're sending it. And every single time you're spending and giving this energy, it has to come from love. It has to come from love.
What is your advice? What is your advice when someone has that intuition and then a fear kicks in real quick? What is your advice in that moment where they had really wanted to spend it? And then it's like, breaks, fear.
I would
How do they
say
get
always listen to your first nudge. That first answer is always backed up by soul. It is. It's your first highest thought, right? That's what Conversations in God says. It's your first true voice. And then when you're backpedaling and mind is involved and you have a lot of questions, then now you're in fear mode. And now you're in lack. And I want you to sit with that. What do you want to manifest from? Do you want to manifest from infinite love? Because that's what abundance is. It's energy that's ever flowing. It is your natural birthright. Or do you want to manifest from lack, from scarcity, from poverty, right? That's that lack, poverty mentality where it's not ever going to be enough and you're going to run out, where you can see emptiness. Emptiness, when it is abundance, it's ever flowing. Always. When you're looking at the dollar or the $20, or no, you have a wallet and it's $20, you have more where it comes from. You do. But where did the mind, the fear and the lack that says, I can't give that 20, right? Or the mind that says, why am I spending $50 on a gift for no reason? But there's something deeper within that. What is it within you that wants you to have these intuitive nudges, that wants to send energy so you can make more energy? You're making more of this abundance by sharing and giving this abundance. Think about the most successful people. They are givers. They are givers. Think about all the people that you can give to, where you can share the same energy, where you are not in a place of lack, where you're always able to spread. And I've talked about this with you, love. Tony Robbins, he was talking about this really, really like cute story where he'd go to this restaurant and he probably only had, I don't know, $15 in his wallet. He goes to this restaurant. He knows exactly what to order, where you get the wine, and just enough. He had enough just for himself for that, maybe that day, or maybe enough for the week. But he goes to the restaurant and he sees this little boy dressed up with his mom. And this is that intuitive nudge, right? This is soul. This is that God source energy that's saying, do this. He goes to the little boy because he's all dressed up in, like a tie, and he wants to take his mom out, and he says, hey, order this, get this, wine for your mom. And he gave him all of his money, but he felt so good. He felt so good. And he just gave. He didn't even look or think about himself. It was like all giving. And then the moment ended after all the joy and love of just pure giving. And he was like, holy crap. I literally gave him every penny to my name. What am I going to eat? What am I going to do? And he came back home, and inside his mailbox was $15,000, something along those lines, from a friend that he lent money to a while back. He gave him money. It was in the mailbox and paid him extra for interest. And that was the game changer for Tony Robbins. He was like, when you get to the point where you can give everything, you can have everything. It was like no lack. It is. It was pure really surrender, cool. Right? He was like, here, have it all. And that's when he realized money isn't something we cling to. Money is what we give. And we know we're always provided. Such a cool confirmation. This is why I love listening and reading the same stuff, because when you're looking at it, my loves, you're all getting the same message. I always make fun of it. Like I told Elizabeth, when I listen to Conversations with God, when I listen to Abraham Hicks, when I listen to Florence Scovel Shin, it's all the same God.
Yeah.
God sounds the same. It's the
Yeah.
same divine truth.
It
It's
resonates
all the same.
on every level. I want to read you something in the book also that really echoes what you're just saying. Many people are in ignorance of the fact that gifts and things are investments and that hoarding and saving invariably lead to loss. How cool and how, like, when you hoard and you save, and we're not saying it's wrong to have savings. We're not saying that, but when you do it from a fear, you are spending that energy of, I can't get more. I can't get more. This is irreplaceable. And you're cutting off the pipeline to your own abundance.
Literally just said that. Remember I said when I give,
that's what I say. I want to echo
investment.
this.
Oh, it's so true. It is so true. Have investments for yourself in the gift giving. And then when you get those nudges, when you have that person, you know, in the street and what you have is 20, you know you have more where it comes from. You give the 20. That's what you have. Would you rather give the 20 from love, or would you rather cling to the 20 from fear? Because I'd rather give all the way, wholeheartedly. Like Tony Robbins said, here, have it all. Here's what you do.
Yeah.
Here's what you do with your mom. Here's some wine. Like, here. Because the little boy didn't have any money and he knew how to have a great experience at this restaurant. And he literally gave every penny to his name. And when he came home, he got more than enough back.
Now, Joanne, I want to share.
Giving.
I want to share this because it's sort of along the same lines, but a little bit variation. So the other day, and you already know this, I'm going to share it with everyone else. So last year, I took my kids to the first time to Disney World, and we had this amazing, epic time. Like, it was just full presence, it was full soul, and we all three just had this memorable vacation. And pretty much within a couple months, I decided I really wanted to take them back to Disney World this year. And so I had reserved our hotel and our tickets a couple months ago, and I was ready to make the final payment this week. And there was something holding me back, like, don't make that final payment yet. And I was calling you, Joanne, and I was like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is that's telling me to not make the final payment. Like, I could do it. I should do it right now. It makes sense right now. Why am I not doing it? And then I realized later that afternoon, I was like just overwhelmed with soul presence, and my kids were home from school, and I called them over to the computer, and it was like this urgency, right? Hey girls, watch this. And I pulled up our Disney World account and I let them watch me hit submit on the final. And the look on my older daughter's face, like, I can't even tell you, it was a look I've never seen on her face before. She was so happy. It was pure joy. And I was like, I know why I was supposed to wait. There could always be another reason why something is telling you to wait. And then you wait for that moment where you're like, you stop the brakes and you press that pedal going forward, right? You press the gas pedal, and there's a reason. And that day, it was like, it was showed to me, that was the reason you were supposed to wait. That was the reason you were getting that nudge in your gut saying, don't do it yet. It was because you were supposed to see and share in the joy with your kids who this vacation's about. And it was like, I get it. I trust you.
I think it shows how we should always listen to that intuitive nudge on how to give, receive, provide, share in all of the experiences in the now. It's like we're co-creating every moment. And we never listen to that nudge inside, right? The nudge that tells us to give, the nudge that tells us to wait, the nudge that tells us go. Because mind likes to control everything. Mind is always asking when, how, so what, or this. And soul just is. It's simply being in all of it, because it is pure love, pure unconditional love, and infinite supply of abundance. I love this talk, love. So deep. I love when you don't tell me what we're talking about, and now I'm like so deep in it, and I feel I'm literally, so where I'm at right now, I'm in this like awesome walk, And all I see is trees and birds and the sky. And I feel the abundance. So when you got this message today, to hear, to feel, to receive, to give, it's abundance. The message today is abundance. You are abundance. You are it. All of it is you. You are all of it. I'm literally like satori mode right now because of this call. But seriously, my loves, and if you don't feel it, go outside. Feel into the abundance that you are. I have a client, a beautiful client. I would make them go outside and stand next to a waterfall and just watch the water flow. And they're like, oh my gosh, you're so right. Money is ever flowing. It's like this waterfall. So when they feel lack, they literally go outside and watch this water flow infinitely back and forth within itself to show them that they are as abundant as the flowing of water. And all of the fears and all of the things that they had goes away. And we always get that text or message that's like, hey, I got another sale, or hey, I manifested abundance, because they feel into the infinite supply of abundance that they are. We love you guys. We hope this message reached you. And if this really got to you today, we hope it helps you manifest all the abundance, all of the joy, all of the peace and love in all of your days. We love you guys. Bye, love.
Bye.